So if you're thinking about making a big move to the city of Peterborough or surrounding area, this is your complete relocation guide broken down into an 8-week timeline. If you are a procrastinator, this is the video for you. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm Carrie Brockhurst, and I am a local real estate agent right here in the city of Peterborough. I often get texts, calls, emails from people like you watching this video, and a lot of them are relocating to the city of Peterborough. So I thought, what better way to give you a complete guide on step-by-step things that you should be doing before moving right here. Now we are doing an 8-week timeline. If you are a procrastinator, then you need to follow this video. If you are super organized, then well, you might want to push back these timelines just a little bit because you will already be ahead of the game. So let's get into this video right now and hopefully get you some tips or tricks that you may have not thought of before relocating to Peterborough. So we are gonna go through a few phases or stages that you should definitely be doing, like I said, in the 8-week timeline before moving here. So the very first phase we're gonna look at is the research phase. And what does that mean? Well, exactly that, research. So with that comes a lot of emails, phone calls, and quotes. Why would you need quotes? Well, if you plan on moving to a new city, you are going to want to find out how much movers are, how much it's going to cost to pack up your home. So certain things like that are very important in the research phase, and you are going to want to know this because what if your movers are actually booking 90 days out or longer? You really need those timelines to align. Another thing that is super important in the research phase, which may not apply to everyone, but what if you have a home to sell? Are you going to sell your home first before looking at another house? That is a question I often ask my clients when they are moving here, and this is super important. And the reason it's super important is because you may put an offer in on a house here, but need to sell your house first. So in this research phase, I would highly recommend reaching out to your mortgage broker, lender, and find out, is there a specific amount that you need to sell your house for in your current city to afford a home here in the city of Peterborough or surrounding area. So let me give you an example. You live in, let's say, Ottawa, and you need to sell your current home, but you have found a home here in Peterborough. Depending on how much money you have left on your mortgage in your home in Ottawa, your lender might tell you, well, if you want to afford X, so this house in Peterborough, you need to sell your house in Ottawa for Y. Does that make sense? You may think, oh, I'm good, I can afford it, but your lender might tell you, no, you need to actually sell that house for $650,000 before you can buy a house here in Peterborough that is $800,000. And the reason that is so important is because you can then relay your message to the real estate agent you are using in Ottawa to say, I cannot sell this home for less than $650,000. And it's super important during this research phase to make sure you notify all the parties involved. So do you have a real estate agent in, I'm just keep saying Ottawa, but in Ottawa? You should probably reach out to them, get a home evaluation, reach out to your lender, see how much is left on your mortgage. And then if you're considering moving out this way, contact me or anyone in the local area, and we can definitely help you guide you through these steps. Or just watch this video, because also that will be helpful too. Now, going back to selling your home before moving to Peterborough, I'm not saying that you have to sell your home first before purchasing in the city of Peterborough or around the county or townships. But what I'm saying is that you really need to do your research. So you need to, like I said, talk to your lenders. You may actually want to sell your house first before actually purchasing in Peterborough. Then you already have a pool of money. You know exactly how much you have to work with to purchase a home here. There is nothing worse than getting hit with a surprise. You do not want to hope that you can afford this house here in the city of Peterborough and then come to learn actually you can't. So the next part in this research phase would be the neighborhood. So you have decided you are moving to the city of Peterborough. This is the place for you. But the only research you have done is, well, watching my videos. So what I would highly recommend is take a weekend, come here, drive around the neighborhoods, check out my videos before, because I have done some videos on certain neighborhoods here in Peterborough. And if you don't see one that I have done that you like, comment below and I will hopefully get a video out for you, because if you're looking at a certain area, 9 times out of 10, someone else is as well. So comment below if you have a specific video you would like done. But back to the research phase. What I would recommend is get in your car, train, however you want to get here. Go to the local coffee shops, go to the local restaurants. See really what you're into. Is it East City? Is it the north end of Peterborough by the zoo? Are you planning on commuting to work? So West End would be ideal for you. It's really hard to gauge where you want to live without actually being here, boots on the ground. So that is something I highly recommend. Come out here for a weekend, rent a hotel, enjoy the city. Maybe it's in the summertime. We have a lot of great festivals. So kind of coordinate it and see what area you really are interested in, because that's going to help any real estate agent that you choose to narrow down where you want to be. If you are getting relocated here by work, that is super simple. I mean, if it was me, I would be wanting to live in a neighborhood where I'm closest to work. So that's one thing that would be important to you. If you're moving here with children, the school areas, again, would be something that's very important to you. What district would you want your kids to go to? Do you want a Catholic school? Are you okay with a public school? Do you want a private school? So again, this is all things to consider in your research phase, and I highly recommend reach out to me. I will answer any questions you might have, but also get your feet wet, boots on the ground, and come check out the city. So if you're thinking about making a move to Peterborough, Ontario, and you like what I'm saying, please consider subscribing, hit that like button so you learn about all things moving to Peterborough, Ontario. If you're thinking of making a move in 9 or 90 days, please don't be afraid to reach out. I do get texts and calls from people just like yourself watching this video. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm happy to help. All my contact information is in the description below. Another important thing during your research phase is checking out storage units. So if you do have a place to sell back in, let's say, again, Ottawa, and the timelines aren't going to align with your move, you might have to rent a storage unit here in Peterborough. So aligning those timelines, finances, how much that's going to cost you monthly, is there going to be a contract? So those are, again, things that you would want to look into. One little thing that you should know, this is separate from the guide, but if you do plan on moving to Peterborough, when you're looking at your neighborhoods, there are definitely some differences. For example, the Selwyn-Ennismore area, the property tax actually are substantial lower than the north end of Peterborough. So when you're assessing your finances, that's something you might want to take into consider. Maybe paying a lot less property tax is super important to you so you can get a higher value of home. Just a little tidbit there for you. Woohoo! We are 6 weeks out to your big move, and you are wondering what the heck you are doing at 6 weeks out. I got you. So at 6 weeks out, we are assuming that you have a house under contract, or you know where you're going to be moving, you have been to the city, you are working with an agent, you are fully invested in moving to the city of Peterborough. So at this point, dates should be aligning and you should have your deposits down and ready to go. Now, I want to keep in mind, I know these timelines are pretty tight because this timeline is for the procrastinators, right? So if you are super organized, you definitely would have a house already under contract and you would be ready to go. You would already have had your boots on the ground. That research phase would have been done at least 12 weeks ago because that would have given you time to look at the neighborhoods, look at the homes, and know exactly where you want to be. Tight timelines, speeding things up. Okay, we are 6 weeks out. You have a house under contract. Your current house, if you have one, is already on the market. Your decluttering has been done, so you have gotten rid of anything that you don't want to bring to the new home. If you are like me, I absolutely love throwing things out. I know it's terrible, but I love starting fresh. That is just me. So I highly recommend out with the old, in with the new. I also recommend that with furniture as well. So if you have a couch in your current house and you are moving here to the city of Peterborough, sell the couch. You will probably have to get less of a large U-Haul storage unit, anything like that, and just buy it here. We also do have furniture stores here, so you'll definitely be able to get one. But going back to the research phase, if that is something that is important to you, of out with the old, in with the new, starting fresh, you would want to research that when you do come here, boots on the ground, because timelines are so important when you're moving to a new city. That couch you may want and love might be an 8-week wait, 6-week wait before it actually comes in. Or, which I have seen in the past, people haven't looked at their timelines and have went and ordered a new couch, but they haven't closed on their new home, and the furniture company would not keep the couch. So they then had to pay to store that couch in a storage unit, and well, things got pretty pricey. So one huge thing that I've mentioned numerous times is timelines. Timelines are so important when you're moving to a new city. So keep that in mind during your research phase. Okay, prep phase. We are about 4 weeks out before your big move. Your house is probably under contract. You definitely have a new house by now, and you are getting organized. You have had your garage sale, hopefully made a little bit of money for your move. You've decluttered, you have organized your boxes and labeled them so you know which room to put them in the new house, or your movers know which room to put them in the new house. Trust me, that will make moving super easy for you if you label appropriately from the start. I know it sounds crazy, and I promise I actually am not that organized when it comes to moving, but the one time I did do it, made my life so much easier. If you have children, you will also want to register them for school. Before you did buy a house, I really hope you research the school areas, because if you are wanting the brand new school in East City, but you're living in the West End, you are not going to be in the school district. So again, back to that research phase, make sure you do your due diligence before, and you know the school boundaries before you purchase a home. But at this point, let's assume you have purchased, you want to start registering your kids for school or going through that process of getting everything in order. 9 times out of 10 when people are moving, it is in the summertime so that they can finish school in June. They're going to finish out their school year, say in Ottawa, and then start here in Peterborough come September. So one thing that people really forget about when they are moving to a new city is to consider the memberships that they have. And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about, Carrie? Memberships? I mean, that gym membership, or are you paying monthly for a certain art class or something like that? So not every gym is transferable, and you might have a little boutique gym that you absolutely love. Again, we'll say Ottawa, that won't be here in Peterborough. You want to make sure you give the right amount of time so that when you move, you are not paying for an additional month. Normally you have to give 30 days before canceling a membership. So again, that's something just to be mindful of before you make the big switch in that 4 weeks. Canada Post, you need to call them. You need to forward your mail to the new place that you have under contract. Give them the new address, but we do have to make sure this house closes as well. I wouldn't do it before the 4 weeks. Honestly, you could even do it 2 weeks before, but timelines that are appropriate, it's definitely 4 weeks. I wouldn't do it before then. You really want to make sure that everything is aligning and it's going to be a smooth transaction for you to close. And by you, I mean just reach out to me, your real estate agent, or whoever you plan on using, because they can coordinate that for you and they can make sure and give you kind of confidence that everything is going smoothly and you don't see an issue on closing. We are 2 weeks out before closing, before that big move to the city of Peterborough. At this point, you want to make sure that all of your utilities are switched over. You may not even know what utilities are actually here. So again, reach out to me or whatever real estate agent you are using and we will definitely help you coordinate this. Remember as well, once you do get here, everything is closed. You want to change your driver's license. You may want to change the address for any bills as well. I know you're getting the mail forwarding, but anything online, you may need to change addresses. So again, that's something to keep in mind. Now, another tip I might have for you for changing over driver's license and all of that good stuff is just put a little reminder note in your Google Calendar if that's what you use. If you use pen to paper, put it in there. But that is something that you really don't want to forget when you move here. It's crunch time. We are 1 week out and we are at the cleanup phase. So it sounds super simple and that's what it is, the cleanup phase. And I mean, if you have a house to sell and you at this point should have sold it by now, and if you haven't, well, call me. I have amazing referral friends who are all over the province, who I trust, they trust me. We work together, we refer clients to each other. I can connect you with some amazing real estate agents. So if you haven't already and you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. Like I said, I have loads of real estate friends who I can connect you with, who I fully trust to help sell your home. But at this point, let's assume you have. Let's be courteous. Let's make sure that that house is actually clean and tidy for the new buyers. If you do not have a house to sell, well, your job is done. You are good to go. One other thing I do recommend 1 week before or throughout this process is, not that you have to, but it is a courtesy to those new buyers, which I would ask for when you're purchasing a home here, is the new buyer's package about your home. So what I mean by that is any manuals you might have on the home, the appliances, any warranties that might be left on your brand new refrigerator that has a 10-year warranty or something like that. Just keep everything in a binder, leave it on the table or on the counter and leave that for your new buyers. They will really appreciate it. If there's anything finicky about the home that only you would know, it is a common courtesy, just leave a little love note and tell them you have to turn, this light switch is for, turns on the fan in the bathroom. Maybe normally a light switch where that is placed would not actually turn on the bathroom light, but in this instance it does. That's a really bad example, but you know what I mean. If there is something quirky about your house that they wouldn't know as a new buyer, it is very lovely to receive a nice note like that, letting them know anything fun about the house. It is the final day before moving day. You are probably super nervous, butterflies in your tummy. You're hoping everything just goes super smooth, and I promise you, it normally does, if all your timelines align. So at this point, you may have chosen to bridge your home. You may not have a home to close. You may have chosen to close everything on the same day. Whatever the case may be, just plan for accommodation. So if you're moving, you have that loading truck all ready to go, you have ordered it a day in advance, and you are ready to make that journey before your new house closes, you need somewhere to actually, 1, store that van, and 2, sleep. So again, keep that in mind. Accommodation is a big thing, and you're gonna be leaving everything in that van overnight. So I really hope you park it someplace safe. I mean, Peterborough is pretty good, but I don't recommend staying in a hotel downtown. But yeah, if you need a place, call me. I will refer some amazing hotels to you, or some Airbnbs or something like that, where you can just stay for one night before your house actually closes the next day. Yay, the day is here. You have made it to Peterborough, and it is the day you get your new home. What is the first thing you should do? Change the locks. Super simple. Change the locks. You just never know who has a key. So I recommend that to any client, whether you already live in this city, you are moving from any other province or to this city, just change your locks. Like I said, you never know who has a spare copy. And I mean, I haven't heard of anyone going into someone's house with the old key, but you just never want to take those chances. I really hope this relocating guide was helpful to you. If you need help relocating to Peterborough, you have questions, you need a referral agent, please don't be afraid to reach out. My name's Carrie Brockhurst. I am happy to help. Ciao for now.